Hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you to my weekly live stream. My name is Jerry, and you're watching 3D HP. And today I got a really awesome guy on. I've got Scott Worthington on, and that's my phone. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, let me bring Scott in, and we'll get going. Hey, Scott, how you doing?
Hey, guys. Doing great.
Very nice to meet you. You're a real interesting individual.
Thank you.
Let me welcome a few people in chat here. I see we got Mark Steele, Brian Bynes, Non-Fam is here, Corey Mack, Jonah P, Astro Printer, 3D Medic Vince, Ben Stanley. Welcome, everybody. And we're live on Facebook, on my group, my page, and we're also live on YouTube. And we have, looks like about 18 people here now, and I'm sure it'll pick up. But if I could, Scott, I know I kind of caught you at the last minute. You've been busy. I believe your wife had a birthday today, and you were out, and you barely got home in time. And
yeah, made it here about 3 minutes early.
Okay. Betty Boot 45, hello. David Haugen, Ben Stanley, Dixon Hoffman. Anyway, if I could ask you, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
I'm actually work for the natural gas and oil rig companies for a living. So this is a hobby. Pretty much probably the biggest 3D printing addict you'll meet. I've got 44 printers set up in the office right now. Gave away one last week and 22 this last summer. So I'm cutting back a little bit, but keep going up. Got a background in machining. I actually started the hobby for guns. And then my body wouldn't take the machining, so I got rid of my machines, other than my small desktop setups, and started this, and it's all been uphill from then.
What got you interested in 3D printing, and about when did all this come about?
I've been doing 3D printing for about 4 years. Been into machining for just over 10, 12 years. And I really started as a way to be able to do something cheaper than working metal. So that was what I started it. That way I could print it and try it, look at it before I went to machining out of metal. But honestly, never did that. I never once printed any part that I designed for a gun. So
let me pull up a picture here so people can get an idea what your workshop looks like. Wow.
Yeah, it's a mess right now. That picture was taken last week. There's still one more printer new since this photo was taken.
You got a lot going on, a lot of filament, a lot of printers.
Yeah. Let's see. If you look at that photo in the back left side, that's a Tronxy XY2. Next to it is a X5S, Tronxy X5S E2. And then it's an AlphaWise U20. And then on the center table in front of the one is a Area 1 Tinker S. Behind that is the another Tronxy X5S. Oh, the E2 is a 400. Sorry.
Is my mouse showing up on screen?
No.
Okay.
The X5S is behind the Tinker Area 1 or Area 1 Tinker S. And then next to that is a Kivo Tarantula Gold. In the corner is an Ender 5 Plus. And then on the corner of the table is a Tronxy XY2 Pro. And then there's an Anycubic Colossal Mini, the Delta. You can see the spool way up high.
Yeah.
And there's another Tronxy X5S. This is the Pro on the end of the table there. And then there's a couple of diode lasers. You see them straight in a row on the left-hand side of the middle table.
Yes.
It's Order 400, a TiVo totem, or TiVo, a two-tree totem, and a two-tree stump. And then the Soval 3D pen plotter, the SO1, is back there with the spools you see sitting next to the hairspray. You can't really see that, but it's there.
Wow. You got a lot there. Did you have to write all that down, or you know that off memory?
I know it off memory.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, I can tell you every printer around the room pretty much.
Viking, how you doing, Thomas?
Yeah. So.
Hello, Dan.
Mark, that photo is straight back from as you walk in my office. The artist D is another photo. He's probably got it. It's actually on the table right here next to me. You can see it. You can't quite see it in that photo because I stepped just one step too far in to get it.
Let me pull up another photo here. Maybe it'll be here.
Yeah, you can see the artist D right here in the corner. That is the resin side. There's 4 Tronxy Ultrabots and then a Anycubic Photon, the wash and cure station, then the Tronxy X2, the TEG 2019 CNC mill, and then we already went around the corner from that. You can see the camera. That's actually what I'm on right now, is that camera that's on that tripod. That is down the row that I'm sitting on. The printer on the bottom floor that you can't see any of the printer pictures. That's a Creality Cr-10s S5. Really heavily modified. It's got line voltage bed with a SSR. It's got a SKR 1.4 with 22.8 stepper drivers. It's dual drive. It's I don't remember the name brand of the hot end. But Capricorn tubing. It's really all heavily modified. And then along the bottom, you can't see in this photo, there's printers along the bottom on the right hand side too. That see, you had the 5 in the corner, and then along that side is just a bunch more.
Let's jump back to Chad here. I don't want to burn you out on pictures.
No problem.
Hello, Jim Sellers. Hello, Mr. Buttram, Corey Mack. I can't pronounce your name. I'll put it on the screen. Hello. If anybody in chat has any questions, please feel free to ask.
Yes,
obviously,
please.
this man knows an awful lot about everything.
Not everything, but
I mean, I thought I had a lot, but evidently I don't.
My hobby room is just over 600 square feet.
Wow.
It's 25 by 25.
Yeah, my hobby room is, well, I can pull up a picture for those people that haven't seen it. I'm retired. I tinker in the hobby, and this is my hobby room here. It used to be a living room in my house. I have 2 CR10s, 6 Ender 3s, 2 are pros, a Hypercube 445, 1 El Gumar resin printer, and I believe that's it. And then I got and then I have that's it. And I got my spray booth and my paint, and, stuff like that. So
see, I don't have a paint setup. I usually actually just spray outside. I use spray paint most of the time, or brushes. My wife does most of my painting.
Oh, that's nice. I wish I could get my wife involved in my hobby or anything I do.
Well, she does it whenever she feels inspired to paint one item. I've got several large, like Black Panther figures she hasn't finished painting yet. A lot of little resin prints she hasn't painted yet. She wants to, but as she gets around to it, I'll print anyway. Doesn't matter to me if they're painted or not.
Yeah, I've been in the hobby probably about 3.5 years, and I don't know. I was on YouTube. I stumbled across a video where a man and his wife were traveling the country, and they had a little 3D printer, and it looked pretty interesting. So then I started researching it, and then I got on the Creality group, and I seen the CR10. So I had to have a CR10, and then I started building models from Sanix, and I wanted to make them big. And obviously, I got carried away. As you can see in pictures behind me, I've got too much. I should have got into minis and made everything miniature, but I didn't. But I guess I still could. I'm not dead yet. So
they're harder to paint that way. Give me a second. My son didn't just walk in. I don't like them in the office because they get little things of filament in their fur. So
okay, not a problem. Betty Boop, nope, she doesn't want to get involved in anything that I do. So, and for those that haven't seen, let me show you another picture here. Let's see. Here's another angle of, well, that's not another angle. That's just my banner that I had made, my Hypercube. And my Ender extender is 500 millimeters tall. I've only printed a few things on it. I modified an Ender 3 and went up with it.
Yeah, Kitten is fairly young, and we were over at a friend's house for my wife's birthday party. And I'm the only one home, so he had to come check out who was here at home.
Yeah, I have 2 dogs here that one of them, every time I'm on camera, she's right up here on top of me wanting attention and wants to be on camera.
Yeah, I've seen her. I've got 2 dogs, 4 cats, unless you include the strays that we're kind of feeding and taking care of now.
Yeah. I believe you live in Texas, right? The biggest state in the world?
Yeah, just about. Too bad Alaska's larger.
Yeah. Yeah, here's a picture of my two animals here. My two girls, Nikita and Sandy. Nikita's on the couch and Sandy's on the floor. And the reason they're staring at me is I'm holding a treat up by my cell phone. They're like, give it to me, give it to me. And then I clicked the picture. So that kind of worked out.
I do not have anything Prusa at this moment. That's actually one of my to be added list. I just have a hard time justifying the amount of money.
Do you have any secret projects you can talk about or things you're allowed to talk about you might be working on?
I've got a few betas in process. Not allowed to talk about one of them.
Okay.
The Order 400 laser that's in the photo. That's a beta. We're doing a couple of minor changes to it. The Artist D was a beta, or is a beta, but I'm working on it quite heavily. It's actually not printing right now because I was doing some tests on it. I'm actually looking at seeing what it would take to modify the hot end and extruder setup to take a Creality heat block. I was looking at it. The nozzles in that come on a throat. They're really tiny. So I don't know if I'll be able to get all the way up to the camera. But they're really, really tiny. Yeah, I won't be able to get close enough to the camera. They're really tiny. The throat is male thread. The nozzle is threaded to it is female. And I think I know I can thread that into a heat block, a standard heat block. I just don't know if that will line up, if the holes in a Creality style block will line up with the holes that hold the heat block on the Artist D. If so, we will be able to gain E3D nozzles on the Artist D. The only ones I've got currently, I've got probably close to 100 MK8s, MK7 hot ends, but I don't have any of the Creality version, which have the 2 bolts going through it, except for the ones on my Creality printers. So I didn't want to take one of them apart. So I've got one of the other beta testers looking at that.
Yeah, I remember you on a Creality live stream around a month ago and you held up all those little red MK8 heat blocks. Like, what the hell? You had like 40 or 50 of them, it looked like, in a little box.
I've got, I think it's 35 in that one, and then I got a drawer below it that's got another 10 or 15. I've got a bin, parts bin, which has got some older pre-used hot ends that I was in a hurry just to swap them out. It's got, I think, 4, and then I got a drawer down here that's got 50 or 60 in them.
Do you live close to Amarillo? My wife was wondering.
I'm 2.5 hours from Amarillo.
Okay.
2.5 hours from Amarillo, Wichita Falls, and Lubbock. I'm out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I've been out of Lubbock 5 or 6 times. My wife's parents used to live there. It's like 12.5 hours from here in Vegas. Long drive. People say, well, how far is it to get there? I said, well, you drive and drive and drive, and then you're sick and tired of driving, you're halfway there.
Yeah. It's 45 minutes for me to go to Walmart.
Oh, wow. I got a grocery store down the street about 3 minutes away.
Oh, I've got a grocery store 3 blocks. But for Walmart, one of the things everybody asks about Walmart, it's 45 minutes. For one, an hour for the other. Both of them close at 8 o'clock or 8:30 at night now. And then lumber store, I've got a tiny lumber store 45 minutes away. Home Depot Lowe's is 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Theater's 2.5 hours. Astro Prints, that's William. The Artist D, I believe it should actually be fairly easy to change over to 2.85, but I don't have any 2.85 setups. I would think that we should be able to just change out the Bowden tube setup, go with the thin wall Bowden tube on the nozzle, and with the style of extruder it should just drop right through anyway.
Raymond Emsley is wondering what do you like to print mostly?
Actually, I print just anything that comes to mind. I print a lot of roses. I give them away as gifts. I had 13 dozen. I think I'm down to about 10. Anybody that comes over and visits the office, I usually give them a rose. They can take it home to their wife, their girlfriend, whatever.
I'm looking for a picture. I don't think I have one here.
No, I don't know if I gave you pictures of roses because they're all up on the shelves, in vases. I've got wood. I've got resin roses. I've got. Let's see. I can see wood. I can see purple, red, silver, white, clear, 3 different shades of red.
In resin, you use dyes, right? Or do you
No,
paint?
actually, I've been buying the pre-done. I have dye. The dye I've got was from they do the Pro Box. I'm forgetting who it is. Normally I can remember, but hairbrain tonight.
It'll pop up here in chat in a minute. No, I'm not seeing it.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm looking through also the other questions here.
Yeah, my current resin printer is an Elegoo Mars, and in a year that I've had it, I've got to replace the screen again. I'm starting to get holes in my print. Here's a little Deadpool bust that I did a couple days ago, and I've got a hole in his shoulder there, and on the back top of the side of his head, there's a big long rip in the side of his head. So time to spend another $30 and put another screen in it.
I have 4 Trunks, the Ultrabots, and the Photon, and I've never replaced a screen in any of them. And I've put through 10 or 12 kilograms.
Wow.
And never replaced a single screen.
Yeah, my first screen, I printed every day 24/7 for like 6 months, and the screen went out. And since last December, up until now, I'm starting to have issues. I printed probably about 15, 16 different things, but it hasn't been a whole lot. And it's a shame. I mean, it's only $30, but still, it's $30. I wish I didn't have to spend. Just imagine if it was a really big resin printer.
Yeah. Now, I'm not one of those that's going to preach to you on the safety of all this. I don't wear gloves when I do it. I don't wear a mask. I'm one of those. I survived stage 4 C throat cancer. If that didn't kill me, this stuff ain't going to hurt me. I might regret it later, but oh well.
I wear gloves and glasses, but yes, I've got resin on my hands a little bit here and there, and it hasn't been toxic. It hasn't bothered me, but I worked construction for 35 years. I've dealt with a lot of chemicals, but I do try to always wear gloves and glasses when I'm working with resin just to be safe. I would really hate to get it splashed in my eyes.
Yeah, I don't go and dip my hands in it.
Yeah.
When I take a print off the bed, I actually have the wash cure station right next to the Photon over there. You can see it in the photos on the resin side. We're going to have to go through the comments and answer questions here in a second. I saw a bunch of them. All I do is I carry the print bed over there, knock it off into the alcohol tank on the wash cure, and hey, run. I don't handle it, put it straight back, the bed straight back on it. I got paper towels that I hold under while I walk between the spots. And then once it's out of the alcohol, it's safe. So I don't go out of my way to handle it, I guess you could say. So
yeah, it is the same thing. I scrape it straight off into my ultrasonic cleaner with mean green, and then once it's in there for 5 or 6 minutes, then it goes into IPA. Then I rinse it well with IPA. Then I rinse it with water, dry it, then I cure it.
See here, I'm looking through the.
Yeah, we have a delay of about 20 seconds before it hits StreamYard, so I can pop them on the screen as I see them in StreamYard.
Thanks, Greg. It's a dream come true. This whole setup is. I've taken 3 years to build this office, but it's all been done by myself. I built all of it myself, from digging the foundation up. Let's see. Ben Stanley asked if the Artist D was testing safe and consistent. So far, you can see a bunch of my prints. Oh, here it is. My one failed print. I had a layer shift. This was just printed. This is the biggest print I've ever done on it right now.
Wow. Flex Rex.
Yeah, Flex Rex. He was scaled up 350%. It took 1 day, 20 hours to print, but I've had no problems out of it whatsoever. And this is the first time it's actually stopped this long. It's been stopped since right before I went to dinner. So I think it stopped at like 4 o'clock. So, and I've had no problems out of it.
You printed that Plexi Rex out of PLA?
Yeah. Yeah, it's PLA. I actually have not used anything but PLA on it yet. I need to do TPU and PETG, but I have not yet. I've just literally been running it constant. So.
Which printer was that off of? The Plexi Rex?
That was off the Artist D.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it was off this Artist D. It's dual color, so I've got a few dual colors, but I like that because it doesn't waste any filament, really. I mean, here, I put the brushes, waste baskets
Okay.
on by thumb screw.
Oh,
With thumb screws.
The JG maker is called an Artist D, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right, I was mistaken for a minute. All right. Yeah, I've been watching a few videos on it.
I've got. Well, I emptied this one earlier because during the last live stream I was showing it off, so that doesn't have very much in it at all. Switching bolts easier longer. Okay, this is more. This is all the way. This is almost every bit of the waste I've had the whole time, and I bet you there's maybe 2 grams there.
Yeah, almost nothing. Yeah, Ben Brady's wondering if you have a YouTube channel.
I do. It should show up a link, or somebody will post it for me. I actually only have got a couple of videos out right now. They're mostly walkthroughs of my office, and when I was really busy printing face shields. I'll do this better.
Below in the description, I've got a link to your page.
Okay.
I don't believe it's your YouTube page, though.
It's probably my tech site. But most of these guys, a lot of these guys will know me or whatever. Now, I am working on getting set back up. Actually, just over a year ago, I got hit by lightning, or the area did, and it took out my USB plugs and ports on a lot of my computers. And I'm just not getting fixed back up and set back up for video. My audio has been the problem. I got plenty of video cameras and all that, but I couldn't get the audio to work. So,
was that a direct hit, or was you touching something that got hit?
I think the power lines in town got hit, and it only took out my USB ports because I had, I think it was 3 powered USB hubs plugged in on no power strips. The rest of it's all power strips and surge protectors. So
I thought you meant your body got hit by lightning.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No, I've been treated real bad, and that's bad enough.
I remember when I was a kid, my dad had told me years ago when he was alive that he was struck by lightning twice in his life, a direct hit, and he survived it.
Phew.
But I don't know all the details surrounding that. We pull up another picture and see what we got. I'm not sure. Did I show this one under the counter?
No, not yet. That one there, you can see starting on the right-hand side, that's a Tronxy XY3. Then you've got Tronxy XY2 and 2 Ender 3s. Then you got my very first printer, Tronxy X3. And then beside that is a Tronxy X6A. That's the worst printer I own.
Wow.
It's auto bed levels junk. I need to switch it to Marlin. I just haven't done it. So, honestly, Dan, you said Ben wanted to know, for new to the hobby, wanted a recommendation. Honestly, it depends on what you want to print. I don't like to give just a blanket recommendation on anything like that, because if you're printing miniatures, you don't want an FDM, realistically. You're better off with resin. Yes, it's a little more cleanup. Greg, depends on the time and thing. I'm dealing with him right now, so. Well, I've got 15 or 20 Tronxy printers, so.
Yeah, Ben Brady lives down in Texas somewhere.
Yeah.
I forget where he's at. Everybody online is either from Florida or Texas, it seems like.
Yeah. Now, but like I said, for recommendation on printer, I don't like to recommend it because recommend a specific one without getting details of what they want to print. Because if they're wanting to print miniatures, to me, like I said, FDM is not the way to go. Resin is better for miniatures. And then I don't want to recommend a Ender 3 if you're going to print cosplay, armor, helmets, swords, things like that. You want something bigger like the Artist D for dual color if you don't feel like painting it. Or even bigger would be like the Creality Cr-10s S5 or the AlphaWise U20, which I don't recommend it. Bed was worked on that day 2. So my Ender 5 Plus is simple because it's got ZYLTECH factory.
Yeah, Thomas is in Norway. He's far away.
Yeah, I know Tom. I know Thomas pretty well. I have not used any of the alloys. I've used most of my filament has been PLA, PETG, ABS, TPU, and a little bit of PC. I've used or carbon fiber PC a little bit. I've got 6 or 8 spools. I'm gonna be doing a full armor suit, so it's gonna be carbon fiber.
Yeah, Frank from Frankly Prints. If you ever watched any of his videos, he's done an Iron Man suit and all kinds of different Iron Man helmets and gloves, and he's got a real interesting channel. He's out of the UK called Frankly Built.
Yeah, Greg, I don't typically like ABL myself. Most of my printers don't have it, and the ones that do, I don't use it much. But the Ender 5 Plus was a beta. Creality sent to me for nothing. It was one they asked me to test. It came with it, and actually I like it. It's been pretty decent. The only issue I have with that is if you do have a print come off the bed, it breaks the pin. I broke 2 pins on that so far. I don't really need it on that one, except the fact is that's the only way to level the bed. Only way to set Z. My swivel has a slight bow in the bed, so I got a ABL on it. But I don't go adding ABL to most of my printers. I actually take it off.
I've never tried to BL touch. I've got TH3Ds, easy ABLs on most of my printers, but not all of them, but most of them.
Okay, Chrissy, the Artist D, actually, straight out of the box, that's the best printer I've ever owned. There's not a single problem with it. It's been great for me. I like the quick nozzle change, even though I haven't used it. I do like that idea. And they're going to be available, so why not? The labels on it, I actually hope every manufacturer does that. Something I'm recommending all the manufacturers I work with. The fact it's IDEX, so it doesn't waste anything. It comes pre-leveled. The magnetic bed is the strongest I've got. And I don't have a Wham Bam, but I've got several others. And this magnet, I had it up to 115 degrees and I couldn't even hardly wiggle it. I actually have to physically lift it up like I would when it's cold. I said I've had no problems. Mine being the beta, the fans are a little bit loud for me. I'd rather hear stepper motors than I would fans. But print quality, that's all I would say 99% in your slicer tuning. I have not tuned this printer, and you can see the prints. I got pictures on my Twitter and Facebook and all that, so you can see what the prints look like. They are pretty good. They're not perfect because I haven't tuned. The orange and yellow filaments were the samples that came with the printer, and I'm not that happy with JG filament. But I think it's moist when it came to me, and it's also with Cura, and I don't normally use Cura. And from what I've heard, the newest Cura has a problem with leaving little zits and stuff, and that's what I've got. Like the two-tone frog has a few zits on it. Actually, I would say quite a decent amount of zits for me. Now, the other tree frogs did not have any. But print quality, I'd say, has been great. Just more tuning would be better.
Does Artist D have belt tensioners? Jonah's wondering.
Y-belt does. X does not currently. That's something I'm trying to get him to work on. And I'm going to change my Y-belt tensioner. What I'm going to do is move Charmander right here on the front panel. I'm going to drill through it. Right now, it's got a pulley. It's bolted to the base. I'm going to take that out. Probably have to cut the shaft off and mount it to a C here and just use the front. Right now, what you just got to do is do it through the motor in the back. Kind of a pain. And the belts, they've actually come factory tensioned and actually right for me. The only way to do those, you can't see it, but the belt ends on the extruder. You just pull it tight and it's got a clamp on there and you just tighten it again up here. It doesn't have a knob to turn it. Should be a fairly easy fix. One hole here, there again, and a pull, I guess you'd call it. Greg, I have all 3 major kinds of ABL sensors. I've got the square blue capacitive or inductive. I mix up which is which. I got the metal round ones and the BL Touch. I like the BL Touch the best. other than the fact you break pins and they're hard to find.
Do you have a favorite brand of PLA you prefer?
I typically use Pryline or Airy One right now. I've had great luck. I had 260 spools before the face shield production kicked off, and I used 209 of those on that, and then or 200, or just under 200 actually, because I had some other brands in there, and then I've been using Airy One lately. That's what I've been restocking with, just because I got it cheap and they were having it in stock where Pryline has been out.
Did you say you donated like 10,000 face shields that you printed?
10,284.
Wow, it's a lot.
I've donated to every hospital, EMS, police department, nursing home, dialysis place, schools, anything within 125 miles, it'll take it.
We go on to another picture here.
Okay.
That's very nice.
Yeah, that's actually I've actually printed that for my daughter. That is Green Gate 3D, Purple Rain filament. And then can't remember who the black is off the top of my head. I have to look at the video. But my daughter actually plays that violin. You'll see the other one here on my desk. I actually printed it twice. I do not like the way they put the supports. You can see that one here. The supports are pre-built in, and I cannot get them off worth a darn. Well, when I went to get it off, it cracked right here.
Wow.
And rather than give her one that's cracked and glued and fixed, I just reprinted it. There, I say there's full violin, and she plays that now. So she was too shy to play it for me for my YouTube channel. So I took it to a shop to get a case for it, and that guy, there it is, and the guy played it for me.
How does it sound?
He said it sounds identical to a wood violin, except it's a little bit quieter.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it sounded great.
Yeah.
I would know the difference.
Yeah, my son used to play viola in junior high school for a while, and I'm not sure what the difference is between a viola and a violin. I don't remember, but
I think one is higher pitched than the other. Chrissy, it's Pryline, P-R-I-L-I-N-E, and Airy One, E-R-Y-O-N-E.
Yeah. Yeah, I've tried a lot of Arion, and I had a problem with a lot of it that I had being brittle and having different clogs in my filament runout sensors.
See, I never had any real problems with it. Now, there was a batch or two when they first started that was having problems. All you have to do is send them a message, and I'll send you a spool.
Mm-hmm.
Send them a message, a couple of pictures. They're good people. They've been really good to me. So,
if a company has a bad batch of filament, I wonder if that means thousands of rolls are in a batch, or I really wonder, because they get shipped out all over the world. So I wonder how big a batch is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends on the company, and everyone doesn't manufacture their own. They're what you call a white labeler.
Mm-hmm.
So they stick their label on, or have the other manufacturer stick their label on it. Pryline manufactures their own. So
Okay.
every single spool they have their hands on, they control it. Usually it's better consistency that way, but each their own, I guess you'd say. Well, there you go. 200 kilograms an average batch.
Okay.
See, I didn't know that, so that's neat knowing. You think I would, because I actually talked to Richard. I went to New York a couple of weeks back to help a buddy clean up his farm, and I actually met Richard. He actually drove 5 hours to come up and just say hi. Matter of fact, one of the pictures of the office here, you can see pellets that he sent me, PETG pellets. I'm hopefully build my own extruder setup, make my own filament.
Let's see, which picture might that be in?
First one. Yeah, you see it there underneath the face shield, right next to the flashlight and the laser.
Okay.
It's right kind of dead middle of the picture, slightly off to the right, lower right.
And here is another picture here.
Yeah, there it is. You see in the face shield right next to the laser and the spray bottle.
Okay.
That's a bag of pellets. That's 100% recycled PETG pellets.
Yeah, I should have kept all my old prints from the past. I mean, I done a video where I had a big mountain on the table of spools and old prints that I threw out, but I was mixing my PLA and PETG and ABS and everything together. But that would have been cool if I would have saved them and got some kind of a pellet extruder that they're starting to come out with and recycled all that.
What I actually been doing is I separate mine. I throw away the PETG because I don't print enough of it to warrant it. But I've got a 35-gallon garbage can underneath the desk right here in front. That is where I throw all my PLA. Any failed prints, like this one here, will go in there. All the skirts, the brims, supports, that'll all go in there. So just can't quite see it from underneath the table right there. I did take a bit of it out a couple months ago. I got 2 small boxes of supports and stuff back in my storage room. Because and actually what I started doing with them is if they're small pieces, like I've got a palette too. So during all the facial printing, I kept all the end of spools and I put them through my palette too. Well, whatever the palette 2 wouldn't use is 1 to 3 inches of 6 inches of filament. I threw those in a wax paper lined cookie sheet, put them in the oven and melted them down, made a cutting board.
How many printers do you think you've owned, and do you have a favorite? I know you've listed all that you have around you, but
I've owned close to 100 printers. I've worked on a lot more than that, but I've owned close to 100. Really, I don't have necessarily a favorite. Most of the time, it's a favorite of the moment, my go-to printer. Usually, it's the newest one. I mean, that's real common. But really, I don't have a favorite for, you know, if I want to print something big, I will go to a bigger printer, and I will use the Ender 5 Plus first for a bigger printer because it's got the glass bed, and the ABL has just worked great on it. And my Chauncey has an all-metal hot end that I used to use all the time. So and PLA doesn't work very good on the all-metal. So it really depends. Dual color, I actually never really printed much dual color before the Artist D. It will always be the Artist D, though.
What do you think about the Core-XY versus a Cartesian printer where the bed simply goes down? Doesn't work?
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 Cartesian or Core-XYs. I got 1 Cube Cartesian, and give me the one the bed drops every day. I prefer that much more. The Creality is the one that has the. Hey, Mark. See you later.
Thank you, Mark.
Creality is the Cartesian.
Have her watch too. Thank you.
Yeah, the Creality Ender 5 Plus is the only Cartesian cube frame I've got. I've got some ideas for that one. I'll probably mind modifying it a bit.
Do you have a favorite print you've ever done, or since you're a tester, I mean, you do a lot of test prints, but do you try to find certain things that you like to print, or?
Yeah, I've got a few favorite prints. The violin is by far my favorite because it's my daughter's. I also did a sword. I think I sent you pictures of the sword. I've actually printed like 6 of those. But I like those prints a lot. My wife gets a lot of spool mounts. She has a industrial sewing machine, uses big spools of thread, and she's got like 75 or 100 of those mounted on the wall.
This isn't the sword, but I can start going through the pictures.
Okay, that's Venom. That was printed on my resin printers. I love that print. The detail, his teeth and hands. Yeah, that's why I turned the photos just to show the detail in it. It's hard to get in the photos though.
Yeah.
You see his teeth are needle points. His claws are sharp. That was the Chauncey Ultrabot.
A lot of times when I print in white, I've got to go primer it before I can post it online so you can actually see the detail on some color.
Well, that one you can see a tiny bit of support stuck to his back.
Yeah.
Because I didn't bother cleaning him off completely. He's still white just like that on my shelf. Yeah, the camera really bleached this out. I see. Normally I don't look at the pictures that much. I've shared enough of them that you can see his venom mark on his chest.
I'm going to jump here to the next picture.
That is a hybrid character off of
Goku or something.
I don't know what they called it. It's a mix between 2 characters. I just printed that. That was actually printed on the Photon. That's Tronxy blue resin, light resin. And it's printed on the Photon.
It's very nice.
That was a pain. That was a lot of pieces. Because each one of the parts around his belt are different. His swords are separate from his hands, which are separate from his arms, which are separate from the body. Head is different. Yeah. I'd rather print it in a single piece. No, it's actually two, Michael, it's actually two Dragon Ball Z characters. There's an episode where evidently they join. I don't know. I don't watch anime. My wife is.
Hello, David Petzel. Thank you for joining us. David Petzel invented the PetSfang over on Thingiverse. And you
Okay. I had that running on my X5S. Matter of fact, no, I switched. I forgot. I switched. Had it running on my X5S and also had it running on my X2, the original versions, before I swapped the X2 or X3 to dual color.
I believe it was last week David was on my live stream, and I have hangouts every week. He pops in quite often and hangs out and talks.
Yeah, I said that. No, I mentioned that. It's not it's Goku and somebody else from Dragon Ball Z. I don't know who they are. I said I don't watch anime. Wife and kids do.
Let's see what we got. A toad or a frog?
That's the tree frog, and that's printed on the Artist D. You can see a tiny bit of the zits on his elbow, that front elbow. That's what I'm talking about that I've heard Cura, the newest Cura, is having problems with. But that was the very first two-color print that's done on this printer. That was 100% factory, no adjustments, no tuning on Cura, nothing.
Wow.
And you see it's still stuck to the bed, so.
Yeah, up to this point in my life, the only time I've done a two-color print is when I trip my filament runout sensor. It pauses, then I put a different color in. That's the only way I've been able to do a print like that.
Yeah, I've done a couple of filament swaps where you pause it at a certain layer height and then swap it, but not a whole lot of them, honestly. I just paint them.
Here's a nice little character.
That's the one my wife painted. That's Groot.
She's done a great job.
Yeah, that is awesome. I thought I had him sitting here at my desk. I must have him over at that part of the desk. Oh, he's right here. He's actually, you can see, he's painted because he's white on bottom. I asked her to leave the bottom white because that's what color the filament was. So.
Very nice job.
She does a great job painting. I don't have the skills to do that.
Well, practice makes perfect. I mean, I haven't painted since I was a kid. I mean, other than Rabble Can, like everybody does. And then I got in the hobby like 3.5 years ago, and I bought an airbrush and started tinkering. I'm not an expert. I do okay.
I've got airbrushes. I've got 2 or 3, and I've got a real high-end airbrush compressor. But I can't use them. I've got arthritis, so my joints will lock up. So I just let my wife do all the painting of the fancy details. Yeah, William, I can paint walls too. That's my limit. Yeah, I say I know astroprint. So,
do you have any other hobbies other than what you're doing now?
Outdoor stuff: hunting, fishing, hiking. Matter of fact, Saturday morning I'll be sitting out the deer stand, or deer woods.
I've got a few pictures here I can pull up. Here's one of your hobby here.
Yep, that's my crossbow. That was my first hunt out with that crossbow, and I ended up with a deer that day. The mount, yeah, that's that deer. That's my first buck with bow. The mount for the crossbow was printed. It's a carbon fiber design I made up for my the exact tripod my camera's on right now. So, yeah, that mount that holds that, you can see the tripod there in the front of the photo. And I'll put in probably 7 to 10 miles of walking every day I'm out hunting.
Wow. You usually go out with somebody, right? A team of 2 at least?
Usually there's 1 or 2 guys out on the lease, and my buddy's only 2 miles away.
Okay. And you got a radio in case something happens and you need to get help, or?
Cell phones.
Okay.
Yeah, we got cell phones in both areas, are full coverage.
And here's your stickers I got from you recently in the mail. I thank you very much. Those are very nice.
You're welcome. Thank you. They were Sticker Mule, same with a button. I do have a Twitter account. It's Scott Worthington 19, I think it is.
You can post it in the chat unless somebody else wants to.
I say I can't. In Streamlabs, you can't post it in chat.
Do you have a YouTube open at all?
Yeah, I have to find it.
Okay.
I got like 40 tabs open.
All right.
Here's one that I can see. I have to go to it. There you are. Gotta stop it so it doesn't do it. Okay. Let me grab my Twitter here.
Or put it in private chat and I can post it for you.
I've just got to find it now. It's 18. Okay.
Yeah, I gave my wife your stickers.
It didn't let me do it, so I'll send it to you in private chat.
Okay.
It gave me the error. Because I'm not moderator or whatever, probably. There you go. And I set up my Twitter account, my Facebook account links, my YouTube links. They're all over the JG Maker Artist D thing. People have questions, they can come to me. I don't care what it is. I'll answer it.
Yeah, there's your link there. Let me see where you're at in regular chat. I can make you moderator.
Here, I have to say something probably.
Yeah, just say anything and I can fix it.
There we go.
There you go.
The pictures from the dinosaur, all the pictures for all of this stuff for the Artist D is posted as of today again, or I didn't know if I got them before, on my Twitter account. So if you look at my Twitter account, I have all that stuff posted there.
Scott Worthington says hi.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy that way.
There we go. One person watching on Facebook, none on my group, and 22 on YouTube. Huh. And then those that'll watch later tomorrow, next week. You go back over to my pictures. And here it looks like you're designing armor.
Not me. Actually, that is the armor set I'm going to be printing. If you've ever seen the Netflix series Spectral, it's the full DARPA armor suit. One of my buddies designed that full thing up for me. I have no skills or time to learn it, but that's the full suit.
You said Spectral?
Spectral, yeah.
Okay, because I'm a Netflix nerd. That's all I do is watch TV.
You'll love Spectral's one of my favorites. Let's see if I can reach it. This is the mask off the helmet. Man, this lighting and stuff is not a fan for me today. Yeah, the camera's too far away. But the glasses, the lenses will be resin printed, and it was designed specifically to fit me.
What kind of resin do you? Here we go. What kind of resin do you? If you want clear lenses, obviously you print resin. If it's clear, if you go to cure it, it's going to yellowish. How do you stop that from happening?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't go yellow. I use Tronxy resin, Airy one, or I've got some Anycubic clear. Put it in IPA for cleaning and set it in the sun to cure it.
Okay. You don't have a white haze or anything on it?
Nope.
Okay.
Did I send you the pictures of the little figure I did? Yeah. Look at my fingers. And that's thick. That's solid.
Okay.
And that one's actually hazy compared to some of the others. But you can see my fingers. Some of them you can actually make out ridge detail in my fingers. It's so clear.
Yes.
I've actually printed one set of lenses. This is the alpha version of the model. Yeah, here you can see it better back here. That's we actually had to size it up, and I don't scale. I wanted him to size it correctly because he allowed for it was fit perfectly to me and not with padding. So we had to scale it up to fit padding and a little bit more breathing room. And this one in this show, in the movie, there is pipes connecting the mask to the backpack. Well, I had it designed in such a way that I can put backpack. Oh, Adam did? I have to look because that my gun is, as far as I know, I'm the only one. I actually paid for the full model to be done, and I own it. I own all the rights to it as far as that model goes. So that's cool. Mine, I think 5 pieces, the full 5 or 6 pieces to print the full gun, and all the lenses in it are going to be clear, just like in the movie. And the goal is to have it in the movie. The front part that kind of looks like a camera in the middle, that actually spins the movie. The first version of the design does not have that able to be done, but it will in the end. It takes battery packs instead of bullets. So, but that backpack is going to have fans and stuff in it to blow air in my mask.
Wow.
But the designer did a killer job. He did everything down to the gloves have holes in them so you can sew the padded glove part onto a glove. Pre-done, you don't have to worry about that.
I'll be glad when we can print with filament where you can make something like this that would be like military grade that might deflect bullets, etc. It'd be nice if we could design and print things that are that kind of quality and durability.
I think the biggest deal there is you'd have to print it out of something in the weight to get at that issue. I'm going to print it out of carbon fiber PC because I've got it. Not because it's, and to say, hey, yeah, it's all carbon fiber. Because it's going to get painted. Yeah, see?
I'm not sure if I've seen Spectral. I don't recognize the name. I got to go look because I'm a sci-fi nut.
Oh, then you'll love this. This is about they pulled up and made Spectral Ghost for a army, and they're going against it. The DARPA armor is what's used against them. Or that's what the troops use. Yeah, you got to Google Spectral real quick and see the image on that. You'll understand where the armor comes from. And yeah, Astro Friend, I could probably print the whole suit pretty quick, but several of the parts are set for my 400 millimeter beds, and I've only got 6 spools of carbon fiber and at $50 a spool. I'm not buying a spool for every printer.
Let me share my screen. I'll play it.
Oh, is that the trailer? Yes.
2 minute.
Yeah. This armor is what I've got fully designed. He's actually working on doing the it's got a digital visor that replaces the clear lens that will have cameras and stuff in it. Yeah, the helmet alone, from one of the background helmets in this, sold for $1,800. See, he's looking through the visor I was talking about with that's digital. But I got every photo I could find over to my designer buddy, and he did them up for me.
I don't think I've seen this.
Yeah, I say you need to. So you'll be watching it tonight, and you'll thank me tomorrow.
Yeah, I promise I'll watch it tonight.
You'll
I've seen it and I forgot. I mean, it kind of looks familiar, but I'm not sure if I've seen it.
Yeah, you saw the gunfire there for a second. And you see the big walking robots that come in. I'm actually hoping to get my designer or somebody to design that.
Wow.
I actually want to make it a functional too, if I could.
That's awesome.
Currently, I do not offer the STLs for that. I haven't even finished printing it. And I want to print it and all that first. So.
Well, I forgot to ask you. I think I know half of this, but are you married? Have kids, pets? I think
married, 4 kids. And see, somebody just named the guy. Wrong one.
This one here?
Astroprints. Yes, that is actually my designer. If you look, the suit, his pictures are in my, or he's the guy that did my design work.
Awesome.
He's killer at it. I mean, absolutely. That's actually what I was looking for. I was gonna, he's got a Flickr account. And see if I can find it here. Find his. I may be able to post the link myself. Oh, it removed it. It removed it again, Jerry. I'm gonna send a link to you again. This is the guy that does all mine, and you can see a bunch of his my spectral suit.
Okay. Your moderator went away?
I don't know. I tried it and it said no.
That's weird.
Yeah, remove any web address.
I just posted it. Hold on. I reposted it in private chat. Here we go, everybody.
Yeah, that's the guy that does it. He takes a little bit of time, but he is worth every bit of it.
Yeah, I'll come back later and watch this.
Yeah, I say you definitely will. It's a good movie.
No, I mean I rewatch all my streams after they post.
Oh, I see.
We went and make sure to try to help improve myself for the following week. And occasionally I have dead space. I try not to have that happen. Where both are talking, I'm kind of looking at chat and watching.
Yeah, it's not easy to avoid because there is so much going on.
Yeah, usually every week, like I've told people in the past, when I go live and it's counting down, I get nervous. My back usually hurts, but this time it didn't happen. When I hang out, it never happens. But when I go live and I'm getting, it's counting down, I'm trying to do everything right. I don't know why. I usually get nervous, but it looks like it went away this week. Yeah, my back patio. Here's a door I picked up off of Facebook recently. It's got a small doggy door. I've got to make it bigger, but I'm going to enclose part of my patio and put my painting out there and all my resin stuff out there. And it looks like I deleted the other picture of the other angle of it. So, yeah, I can't show you what the actual patio looks like.
Yeah, my office, when I started, was the yard. I attached a 2-story attachment to the house, and it was my machine shop. I had a big, huge, massive, almost 9,000-pound CNC mill in here. I gave that to a buddy. I still got my 48-inch lathe over here on the side. That's not the photos I sent you, but it's in my walkthrough videos and stuff, if people are wondering. But this was a full machine shop, wood shop, and I went to office instead because the way my body is. Say on the 7th of this month, it was supposed to be 6. I'm having my 64th operation in 10.5 years, not including dental.
Well, I hope they can fix you.
No, it won't ever fix.
If anybody in chat has any questions, please ask.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's not more questions.
Your lasers that you've tested or you've used over a period of time, I see a few people that have been doing videos lately have had small lasers that they bought on these Chinese lasers burn out on them, and they've got to get replacements. Is there I don't know, anywhere between $200 and $500 range where that may not happen, but if you make a lot of stuff daily, I guess they just burn out?
Well, they're diodes. Diode lasers are fairly weak. I would skip diode completely and go CO2. At that price range, you can buy a CO2 laser for about $350.
Okay. What exactly is a CO2 laser?
They've got a tube. They're fully enclosed. They're not these Chinese cheap small ones. They are Chinese. They're a Chinese CO2 laser. K40 laser. Let's see here. I don't know if I've got a picture on my computer of my K40 to show you. I completely changed mine. I gutted it and everything's been changed on it. I say I have I've got a 20 watt order and a 20 watt Q-tree, and there's also a 20 watt Sovel, and they're all pretty good, but still realistically they're not true 20 watts. They only put out between 7 and 9 watts. So I would personally recommend something stronger. Now CO2 won't even engrave metal, not really. So I would, if you want to engrave metal, you're going fiber. It's the only way to go with metal.
So like a wrench using your 3D printer, you couldn't put your name in there, nothing. You just
no.
Okay.
CO2, you'd be lucky to do it. Some people put mustard on it, and something with burning the mustard with the laser will etch it, but you're really not engraving. You're just barely etching.
Okay.
Yeah, plastics, leathers, wood,
cork,
glass, and stone can all be done with CO2. You lose glass and stone with diode.
How long might a laser like that last, or does it depend on how much you use it?
Depends on how much you use it and how hard you push it. There's an milliamps you can push it to, and if you push it higher, it'll burn it out sooner.
But it might last you years?
Yeah, it could last you years. It could last you 2 weeks. Could last you 10 minutes.
Okay. Michael Hess says his brother's father-in-law has a 100-watt alpha laser.
Sounds like it's cutting steel. I don't have a picture on my computer. I'm just checking if I got a picture.
And ZYLTECH is in Texas, Dixon Hoppin says.
I haven't seen them. I'm not one that goes out and researches about the different lasers, because quite frankly, I've got my CO2 to do the glass and stone. And the order laser was a beta test. And the 2 trees I got as pretty well good price as well. And they were just try them, and honestly, I haven't used them much because I don't know Inkscape that well. And I don't like being tethered.
About how long ago did all this start with you starting a beta test printer, get one after another after another?
It wasn't one after another. It's taken years to build up to that. And realistically, I don't still test one right after the other. I try not to. It really burns you out.
Yeah.
But I've got several projects going right now, just because of the way things are working out with manufacturers. They're all finding out about me, and a beta test group I started where that's what we do. We take beta products and refine them from design to refine. So,
and a typical one that you're beta testing usually takes you about how long?
I can usually beta test one out. I like to get the hardware side done in 1 or 2 days. Go through it. I pretty much tear them down. I didn't on the Artist D. I didn't tear it down. The other one I've got, I completely had it torn down. I had the stepper drivers off the control board, checking every wire, making sure connections are good, making sure they're using the right size wires, making sure they're using terminals where they should be, barrel connectors, whatever it needs.
Take a ton of notes, a lot of pictures, write it all down, contact them via email or call them.
Yep. And then usually that's 1 or 2 days of work because the write-up takes a while. And then I like to run them for a week or 2 solid. And I'm talking 24/7. And I will push 150 millimeters a second print speed. Pretty common. The day I got my Sovel, I printed the dragon that's on the wall here at 150 millimeters a second. Very first print. That little white dragon. It's Sleeping Dragon off of Thanksverse. Supports and all, 150 millimeters a second, straight out of the box. I didn't do any tuning or nothing. Dropped it on it. Didn't think about it. I just used one of my other profiles, altered the print bed area, blew it up as big as it'd go, hit print, and walked away and went, oh, wait a minute. Well, it's working, so I left it. Yeah, Andrew S., that's the way you could do it. I'm actually looking at or working on getting a actual vinyl cutter machine.
Just watching chat.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at myself. Dave was talking about a big laser. I actually was looking at doing a big CNC router, but I just don't have room for it or motivation anymore. I'm so busy. I got up at 6 o'clock this morning, started, had breakfast with the wife for her birthday, and started my day job with the oil wells. Got back, had lunch with her and her family, and then come home and started on some beta press printer stuff. Went over, got my youngest son from the school bus, then went to dinner, come back here. I've been running. Depends on the part. Realistically, I think it's all really easy. If you want to replace a nozzle, it's one button. It almost literally drops out. I've got filament that's actually been using filament, so it probably won't drop out. Otherwise, I'd show you it just dropping out.
The only thing bad about a nozzle dropping out is, since everybody's not doing it, it's harder to get the parts for that. If you need replacements, you got to go straight to them if they supply them. And
yes, they are shipping to Amazon. As soon as the Kickstarter's done, they'll be shipping to Amazon and Europe and US warehouses and stuff. So it will be available. And they said like $10 for 4 nozzles or 8 nozzles, and that's throat and everything. And I really think that because the artist is becoming as popular as it is, I can foresee Micro Swiss picking up and doing hardened nozzles and solid one piece nozzles throats. Because really it's not a complicated design coming from a machinist background.
Well, I'm going to start wrapping this up. Do you have anything you'd like to say to everybody in chat out there watching?
No, nice to see everybody. Make sure to hit the thumbs up for old Jerry here. So, you guys have any questions or comments or whatever, hit me up. I'm on Twitter. Links in the chat, Facebook.
It's in the description. I've got your links. Yep.
So all that stuff. Anybody's got any questions? I'm here.
Okay, hold on, Scott. I'll be right back with you.
Sounds good.
Well, I want to thank everybody for watching and coming today. Each and every week, I try to have interesting people on. Please hit the like, subscribe, share the video. I've got a link to Scott down below in the description if you want to find out more what he has going on. And happy printing, everybody, and take care. Thank you very much.